You didn't find this message. It found you. Long before you opened your eyes this morning, long before you learned the first word or took the first breath, there was a vibration embedded in your soul, a hidden pulse that waited for the perfect moment to rise. And that moment is now. There is something you've always felt but couldn't quite name, a persistent sensation, like a memory so ancient it predates language itself. It would appear in your quietest moments between the racing thoughts, like a voice without sound reminding you, you came here for more. This isn't the kind of knowledge you read in books or hear in lectures. It's a frequency, a silent resonance that calls only to those whose time has come. And if you're listening now, it means that your field is finally aligning. You've noticed it already, haven't you? The repeating numbers that seem to follow you through every day, the chills that sweep through your body without any physical cause, the dreams that feel more vivid than waking life. These are not coincidences. They are signals, proof that the vibration you buried under layers of survival, doubt, and distraction is resurfacing. Metatron's code is not an idea. It's not an abstract symbol. It's a living, breathing pattern inside you, one that was never truly gone, only dormant. This is the threshold. You can feel it in your heartbeat, in the weight behind your breath. Something is awakening. And once you cross this point, nothing about your life will remain the same. Close your eyes for a moment and feel the space around you, not with your hands, but with the subtle awareness that lives beneath your thoughts. If you could see it, you'd find that your entire body is woven into an invisible architecture. Every thought you've ever had, every emotion you've tried to hide, every intention you've dared to feel, they've all left patterns in the field surrounding you. And though you can't see it with the eyes, your soul has never stopped remembering. This is the hidden geometry, the sacred structure that Metatron keeps. The ancients didn't worship symbols for decoration. They knew each shape was a carrier of frequency, a conduit that could open portals in your consciousness. Metatron's cube is the living map of those portals. 13 circles in perfect harmony, radiating the mathematics of creation itself. It is the signature of cosmic intelligence, and you carry it inside you. If your life has felt like it repeats the same cycles, patterns of loss, of longing, of never quite arriving, it's because the energetic architecture you inherited has never been consciously reconfigured. When your field stays in old geometries, your reality can only echo those shapes again and again. This is why affirmations fail. This is why willpower fades, because your external reality is only responding to the vibrational architecture encoded in your subtle body. But hear this carefully. You are not trapped. Metatron did not give you this code to make you powerless. He gave it so that when the moment came, you could remember how to reshape the geometry and choose again. And that moment is here. Take a deep, slow breath. Feel the center of your chest. There is a quiet pressure there, a place you've tried to ignore. That pressure is not emptiness. It's the threshold between the self you think you are and the self you came here to remember. When Metatron transmits codes, he doesn't speak in words. He transmits through organized light, living geometries that wrap around your field like a lattice of intelligence. This lattice responds not to logic, but to coherence. If your thoughts, emotions, and intentions are fractured, the code cannot anchor. If you are aligned, still, clear, willing, the code becomes alive. This is why so many seekers feel they are close to awakening, but never quite break through. They focus on external rituals, sacred words, or chasing the next method, while their vibrational field remains tangled with old emotions and inherited beliefs. The truth is simpler. You do not need to add anything to become whole. You need only to clear what doesn't belong, so that your true pattern can emerge. Imagine this, your chest expanding with breath, your mind softening its grip, your body allowing itself to trust. In this state, Metatron's cube begins to reveal itself, not as an image, but as a sensation, a knowing that cannot be faked. It feels like a delicate spinning in your heart, a pulse that carries memory older than time. And here is the secret that changes everything. Your field is not passive. It is a living transmitter, broadcasting your signature into the lattice of reality itself. When you learn to feel this field and align its geometry, you don't have to force manifestations. Reality responds to the clarity of your vibration. Effortlessly. Close your eyes. Breathe gently into the space behind your forehead. If you listen beyond the noise of your thoughts, you'll sense it, a silent architecture holding your awareness in place. This is not imagination. It is the living geometry of your consciousness. Every human field has its own pattern, like an energetic fingerprint, and this pattern is shaped by every experience, every belief, every emotion you have carried. Most people spend their entire lives unaware that they are projecting a fractal signature into the universe. They assume reality is something fixed, something that happens to them, never realizing that reality is constantly rearranging itself to reflect their own geometry. Metatron's light codes do not merely illuminate this fact, they recalibrate the field. They reveal where your pattern has been distorted by fear, by shame, by the inherited wounds of your lineage. They show you that what you call fate is often just an unexamined vibration. You might have felt this without understanding it. The cycles you can't seem to break, the patterns that repeat no matter how hard you try to escape them. These are echoes of the same fragmented geometry, and the more you fight them, the more tangled they become. But the moment you choose to see, truly see, your field as a living blueprint, something shifts. It is no longer about fixing or fighting. It becomes about remembering, about recognizing the sacred design that was always waiting beneath the noise. When you breathe into this recognition, the lines begin to reconnect. The field begins to hum with an ancient intelligence. And the reality you once thought unchangeable begins to soften, ready to be reshaped. This is the first step of true awakening, not learning something new, but remembering the geometry you have always carried. You have spent your whole life inside this field of geometry and frequency, yet almost no one ever told you it existed. They told you to focus on your thoughts, to control your behaviors, to set goals and strive and force your way forward. But they never told you the real secret. All action, all creation, all manifestation begins in your field's invisible resonance. This resonance is not a metaphor. It is a measurable, living frequency that radiates from your nervous system, your heart, and even your DNA. Ancient mystics called it the aura, the luminous egg, the subtle body. Modern science has begun to glimpse it through the language of biophoton emissions and electromagnetic fields. But neither the mystics nor the scientists have fully captured what this resonance truly is, because it isn't just an emanation, it's a memory. Imagine your field like a web woven of countless golden threads. Each thread carries the imprint of an experience, some bright, some dim, some tangled by pain or fear. Whenever you enter a room or encounter another person, these threads vibrate, and reality itself responds to the pattern you broadcast. You felt this, even if you couldn't name it. The unspoken heaviness in the air when you walk into a place charged with conflict. The magnetic pull towards someone whose energy feels inexplicably familiar. The sense that you're being watched, only to turn and find eyes already on you. These are glimpses of resonance in action, the language of the field speaking to you without words. Metatron's light code is not simply about raising your vibration, as so many teachings repeat in shallow slogans. It is about restoring coherence. Because resonance without coherence is like music without rhythm, sound that goes nowhere. When your geometry is fractured by contradiction, wanting love but vibrating fear, seeking abundance but carrying unworthiness, the universe receives mixed signals. It can only mirror back the confusion you emit. This is why so many who attempt to manifest their dreams feel frustrated and exhausted. They focus on what they want to attract, but never address what their field is actually projecting. They repeat affirmations, but never heal the distortions that cause their resonance to scatter. They chase external symbols of success without realizing that every true change begins in the field, not the mind. Metatron does not operate through sentimentality or wishful thinking. His energy is the sacred architect of coherence. The Cube of Metatron is not merely a visual tool. It is an intelligent structure that can stabilize your resonance so that your intention stops leaking through old fractures. Imagine this structure as a luminous grid surrounding you now. Each point of its geometry acts like an anchor, holding your field steady while it recalibrates. As you breathe into it, it begins to harmonize the places in you that were dissonant. The fear lodged in your solar plexus, the grief in your heart, the self-doubt in your throat. One by one, these distortions soften. One by one, the tangled threads remember their original alignment. This process is not always comfortable. You may feel old emotions rising without warning, sadness you thought you had buried, anger you believed you had outgrown. You may have dreams that seem strange or unsettling, as if you're watching scenes from another lifetime. You may feel sudden waves of heat or tingling moving across your skin. Do not mistake these signs for problems. They are evidence that your resonance is shifting, that the hidden frequencies you inherited or absorbed are surfacing to be transmuted. Nothing is being added to you. Nothing is being imposed on you. You are simply being brought back to the pattern that was always yours. This is the deeper purpose of the Light Code, not to fix you because you were never broken, not to turn you into something new, because your soul was already whole, but to dissolve the illusions that have concealed your authentic resonance. To help you remember, the universe responds not to what you pretend to be, but to what you are. As this process continues, you will notice something subtle but undeniable. The things you used to chase begin to approach you effortlessly. The patterns you believed were permanent begin to dissolve. The doors you once tried to kick open begin to unlock on their own. Because when your resonance becomes coherent, the field around you has no choice but to reflect that order back to you. Reality stops being an adversary you must conquer and becomes an ally that amplifies your alignment. You are not just a passenger in this life. You are a broadcaster. You are a living instrument of vibration. And every moment you choose to remember this, you reclaim your place as a conscious co-creator of the field itself. This is the power Metatron has waited for you to embody. Not the power to dominate, but the power to align. Not the power to force outcomes, but the power to resonate with them so fully that they have no choice but to appear. Close your eyes now if you feel called. Feel the subtle hum of your own field. This is the frequency of remembering. This is the geometry of your return. If you've reached this point, you are no longer the same person who began this journey a few minutes ago. Not because you learned something new, but because you remembered something ancient. This remembrance is the return of your original memory, the resonance you carried long before you were shaped by opinions, fear, or time. Many people think memory is a collection of thoughts and images stored in the mind, but your deepest memory is not cognitive. It is vibrational. It is the feeling that arises in your cells when you glimpse something familiar that you can't explain. It is the sudden flood of emotion when you hear a song or stand in a place you've never visited in this lifetime. It is the certainty that you are more than this moment, this body, this story. Metatron's cube is not just an external geometry. It is a holographic record of your soul's blueprint. It holds the echo of every intention you carried before you incarnated. It is the silent archive of why you came here, what you chose to heal, what you came to embody. And when you attune your field to it, you begin to recover pieces of yourself that were never truly lost, only waiting to be reawakened. This is why the activation of the original memory often feels like coming home. There is nothing to prove, nothing to strive for, nothing to earn, only a deep cellular knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be and always have been. Pause for a moment. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly into the center of your chest. If you pay close attention, you will feel something there, a pulsing like a hidden star that has always been alive, no matter how dark your nights have been. This is the core of your field, the original memory that never left you. Most people never access this place because they are distracted by the surface noise of their own minds. They are searching for answers in books, in gurus, in endless practices. But the truth is, nothing external can restore what has always been yours. The field remembers you when you remember the field. This is the secret Metatron holds in perfect silence until you are ready to hear it. And now you are ready. This is not just a spiritual metaphor. It is a precise, energetic mechanism. When you focus your awareness on the vibrational geometry within you, you generate coherence. And coherence is the signal the universe cannot ignore. It is the master key that unlocks the gates of manifestation, healing, and alignment. But there is something important to understand. Remembering alone is not enough. You must integrate this resonance into how you live, how you speak, how you choose. The old version of you will still try to pull you back into survival, into proving, into hiding. This is normal. Every field must stabilize after a shift. But if you keep returning your awareness to your original memory, no matter how many times you forget, you will create a new baseline for your reality. This is the true purpose of the Light Code, not to give you temporary inspiration, not to offer you a momentary escape from your life, but to seed a new frequency so strong that even your habits, your relationships, your environment must adapt to match it. And here is the most profound truth. This memory you're feeling right now does not belong to you alone. It is part of a collective resonance that is reawakening across the world. Many souls are remembering together, forming a network of coherent fields that will change what it means to be human. When you heal your pattern, you broadcast a signal that helps others heal theirs. When you embody your original resonance, you give silent permission for countless others to do the same. You become a living portal. This is why Metatron waited until this exact moment to bring you here. It isn't about spiritual entertainment. It is about a commitment that from today, you will no longer pretend you are powerless, that you will no longer deny the geometry of your soul, that you will carry your memory not as a secret, but as a frequency that transforms everything it touches. Close your eyes one last time in this journey. Bring your awareness to the space above your head, the crown, the lotus, the entry point of cosmic resonance. Take a slow, deliberate breath and silently declare, I remember who I am. I remember why I came here. I remember the pattern of my soul. Feel that sentence as an energetic command, not a wish, not a hope. A command that echoes through every layer of your field. This is your return. This is the final memory awakening. And from this place, there is no going back, only forward into the infinite field that has always been yours to shape.